To all our viewers, business leaders, managers, employees, welcome to another episode of Ceedchat. Now, I'm excited because this is a different feel. We're bringing you managerial issues from the employees right up the cadre, things that people do not necessarily talk about all the time. That's what we'll be discussing right here on Ceedchat. And of course, you know that it's proudly brought to you by Seed Academy. My name is Blessings, and today I have with me our masterclass guru, business consultant, and of course, a managing partner at Certification Edge. I am talking about none other than Mr. Ajibola Bamidele. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You look dapper, by the way.
I'm not wearing a diaper.
Okay, I feel that.
Because when you look dapper, it means you was wearing a diaper.
Not necessarily. Okay, anyways, today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, right? And this is something we see everywhere in different businesses, organizations, and we are talking about why do managers fire employees? Why do employees get fired? Why is it that there's no other approach than, to get them fired? And what are the criterias? What are the things that people, what are the factors considered that makes people fire others?
But who gives the manager the gun?
No, I'm not.
That's criminal. That man has be jailed.
I'm talking about shoots. But anyways, yeah. And so, I mean, like I said, this is a very crucial topic because a lot of people always have issues with organizations because they always say things like, hey, you didn't do anything, you just got fired. I mean, it should have been sanctioned, it should have been cautioned. So today we're talking about why exactly do people go ahead and fire people? And of course, no better person to discuss it with.
But do you think managers really fire employees? Because I feel managers don't fire employees. Yeah, I don't think so.
So who does?
So because I realize, because when we talk about, when it looks strange, it's because it doesn't happen every time. So you see, when businesses don't achieve results, who do they fire? So you have a company.
Yeah.
And you have a business goal and they're not achieving results. You're the chairman. Who will you fire?
It depends. I think it depends on, the person who probably didn't live up to par, do up to expectation. I don't know.
Okay, so are you a football fan?
No.
You're not?
No.
Oh my God.
But I can get the analysis.
But you know Enyimba.
I know Messi. I know Pele. Hey.
So let's imagine.
Yeah.
If a club is not doing well, who do you think everybody wants to fire?
The coach.
Why?
I think because he's responsible for ensuring that they are on their A game.
He wasn't playing the ball. You didn't play with them.
Well, I mean, it's his responsibility to coach them, I guess.
To get the right people, to manage them, to make sure they are disciplined, to make sure they do things well. So, and everybody don't care. We don't care about what happens in the maybe off the field while they are doing their rehearsals. Whether they're indisciplined or not, all we care about, we fans, is have they been able to win the match? Have they scored the goals?
Yeah.
Now, most times, if those guys have not been disciplined, probably some will go out instead of coming for rehearsals, they'll go and drink, they'll go and enjoy, they'll say, keep quiet, coach. So if a coach is not disciplined, you see definitely if it's not setting the right standards, the right culture, and sometimes it can be brutal because sometimes people want to still say, what will you do? So most times that's actually what happens in most organizations. So when I asked you, if you have a business and it's not doing well, who do you want to fire? It's the MD.
But we don't see, we don't see that in most cases.
But no, at the board level, you see,
Okay.
they fire the MD because the investors want to make profits. So that's why you see they change MDs at the top a lot when the business is not doing well. So when you cascade it down, you cascade it to the managers, and you see that different managers manage different units. And all these units are meant to also, they have their goals, unit goals, functional goals, towards the goal of the business. And there's this law that we say, this 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Okay, do you know what math? Okay, 10 times 10 times 10 is what?
That's one, no, 200. No.
Come on.
But 10 times 10 is,
Okay,
10
what's
is
10
100.
times 10?
Is 100.
10 times 10 times 10.
100 times 10. That's a
It's
thousand.
1,000.
It's a thousand.
Good. So 10 times 10 times 5.
I have no idea. I'm blank.
Man. Okay, so 10 times 10 is 100.
Yes.
Times 5 is 500.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say, the moral behind this equation is this. You see, when you have a team member of yours, you have a departmental goal. You guys have to deliver on 1,000 on your goals. So one person in that department is doing 5. Ultimately, even when others are doing 10 and 10, that person reduces the departmental performance by 50%. Like, because 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. Then 10 times 10 times 5 is 500. So if everyone even brings their A game and one person is not doing well, that person drops down the whole department. It means that if everybody will be rewarded, if that unit will be rewarded if only when they achieve 1,000. Imagine you have a team, you are 3 in your department, and you doing your best. The other person is doing his best, but one person is not doing their best. You're part of the team members. But the reward is only going to come if the team achieves their 1,000. What will you do?
I mean, I'll look out for those who are dragging us back.
No. I said 3 people.
Yeah.
2
One person
are
is
doing
not.
well. You're doing well. Your other colleague is doing well. But this person is the one bringing you, and you guys need to do 1,000.
So, I mean, isn't there a way, let's say this particular person is not doing well. Is there no way to maybe call the person, talk to them, put them through training and stuff like
What
that?
do you want your manager to do? I'm putting you in the let's imagine.
So if I'm the stakeholder.
Yeah, you're a team. Your office, you have a team, and you've done your best. You've given your 10. The other person has been their 10. So it's just like a relay. Have you ever? Do you like running?
Oh yeah, I do.
That's one you love.
I like running. I like it. I don't know how to run.
Can you imagine? You like running, you don't know how to run. Okay, so
imagine
you've done everything, and the last person that you give the baton to drop the ball, drop the baton. Well, that guy will just move like a snail. And everybody whatever stroke, whatever push you've done, you just see that guy pushed them.
And because of that, we lost
the effort. So you lost because that guy. So you're going for the next competition because that guy didn't give his best. What will you say?
I still swap him.
You want to say, I don't think I want to work out though. This guy is the one again. No, can we change this guy? Because now you're seeing that the rewards can only come to you if that other person is also committed.
Yeah, but what's to say that, let's say this other person is replaced and fired. What's to say that the other team member, for some reason, will just not perform up to expectation the next time?
So I'm trying to say that. So sometimes when people are not competent enough and managers don't do anything about it, then other team members
It rubs off.
No. They feel bad.
Oh,
they feel bad. Nobody wants to talk. What's the manager? This manager, why is he keeping this guy? This guy is the one making us lose. Even the team members will feel the manager is weak.
Right.
So managers must address non-performers. So now, how do we address it? What you're asking is, should it always be
fire? Yeah. I mean, there are trainings that can be done. There is sanction, there's warning. Why just fire?
Okay, so now, when managers must fire if that person is a thief.
Okay, there's that.
So you agree?
I agree.
So managers must also fire if they cannot afford to pay again.
Whose fault is that?
We're gonna talk about.
If the managers, I mean,
you carry more than what you can pay. What do you do?
So is it like
you let go people you cannot pay, or do you want people to be owing?
No, but I mean, this is my point. In this economy that people are looking for jobs, right? I get hired, and then because someone will now come and say because they cannot pay, they cannot afford to pay everybody.
And be working now because
they
you
now
be doing NGO. Be working. Okay, so what will you do if you're not paying for 4 months?
So how do you determine who you let go if you can't pay? Is it still the non-performers? Because it would be unfair if you just do it. I mean, some people will just do. No,
Who will you let go, really?
the non-performers.
Okay, so
But then
that's
again,
where you start from.
that's where you start
It's
from.
not that you won't let go. Because if you cannot pay the performance to, you're going to let them go till you get to a threshold that you can pay.
So the issue now is there no solution? Does it always have? Because it's not so easy.
Training. You see, but how can a pity a pity?
You say what?
Have you seen people? How can a pity a pity? Have you seen people that you are trying to help, but they don't need help? They don't even know they need help. You cannot help who feels that I don't need help. So the non-performer might even be feeling he's performing. That's the greatest level of denial.
Yeah.
You know what they call habituals? Have you seen someone that is smelling that doesn't know he's smelling again? That everybody smells, but he's only the one that doesn't smell. What says what's smelling? When he comes, everybody says, I say, what's smelling? I say, your mouth. The guy is saying no, because that guy cannot even see. So if that employee or the person on your team is someone that does not even know that is not performing, it's hard to help that person. But there's someone that among your team that I'm not doing well, but the person is feeling uneasy. That person wants to do well. That person can be trained. So we must first know, because you cannot force someone to go to where he doesn't want to go. So the situation is like two. This person that is not performing, does he want to? Does he want to? If it does not want to, there's nothing you can do about it. You have to let go.
So, okay, in the case where the person doesn't know that he's not performing, I don't know, for some reason, the person is not aware of the expected outcome for the company. Is there no way that they can call him to order, okay, guy, this is what we're trying to achieve, and it looks as if you're not meeting up?
So that's the problem of a company. How will somebody not perform? I don't know that it's not performing. Okay, let's take an example. You're in school and the person is meant to repeat, but then does not know that he should repeat, or does not know that he's not scoring well. Is there no test? Are there no measures?
Yeah.
Are there no things that he's not doing and they are giving and saying, come, you're meant to do this, but this is what you did. You're meant to do this, but you did. You should know now. Not knowing, when somebody say, I didn't know I was not performing, then it's a structural problem. It's an organizational problem, because everybody should know their KPIs. Everybody should know what they do. Everybody should know. So if you now in a company and you don't know, that means KPIs are not clear, goals are not clear. And that's why that person is still feeling okay, even when it's not okay.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? If you have like 10 people in a team, and let's say 2 are not performing, and you let them go, what is the guarantee that the ones, because let's face it.
I've not said we should let them go. You see, you are putting let them go into my mouth.
No, because
you're the one that's saying firing. All I'm saying first is, let's classify this kind of people that are not performing.
Okay.
If it's someone we can help, then we can now take that person to healing school, performance healing school, and set a deadline. Okay, and it also depends on whether the company can bear the cost of the person's training. Because it's possible that you want someone to drive you. Okay, you drive. You drive now. No?
Yes, I do. I'm a world-class
driver. What class driver now?
They know reach.
Fantastic. So let us imagine you got a driver. And the driver actually needs someone to drive him.
My driver?
Yeah, he doesn't know how to drive.
My own driver?
Yes, you got a driver. But after you resume, you now realize that he needs someone to drive him.
Okay.
Because you should be the driver. Now you not started driving because you don't know. You couldn't sleep. You just couldn't drive. You not started driving. They don't start beside you. What will you do?
So I don't appreciate that you're making me say things about fire.
Because I'm wondering, because most time people talk about managers fire. Put yourself in the shoes.
Okay, but could it be that the problem is even from the hiring process? Because why would I hire somebody that cannot drive? I hire a driver that cannot drive.
People go to interview and say what they cannot do.
So is there no way to fact check? I mean, there's a 3-month what's it called? Probation that people will be in the company, and okay, if you can't perform like you say, you go.
Which happens, but don't forget that you don't want to always let your 3 months go. The cost of even keeping them for 3 months before you let them go is costly. So how many people do you want to keep for 3 months? So that's why we have a screening process to make sure that you narrow down. But even though there's some people that sometimes they use to do it, when they come for interview, you cannot see it. Somebody I've been to one interview before that was cheering. That person used anointing oil. That person was ruling. He came in and said, man, he anointed me with cup. Then my cup was running over. So if somebody can use anointing, that person, somebody else can use that audacious to interview. So at the end of the day, you just see that you are doing interview and your head is swelling. And you've picked the wrong person. So somehow, there's what we call PO, previously unidentified recruitment error. Because somehow, no matter what it is, you miss some signals. So it can happen that you still learn it, but you should. That's why it's good to. So a guy said one time that you should see people 10 times before you hire them.
You should see them,
interview them 10 times in different environments. See them. Because
That's something that should be adopted. Oh, really?
But how many? If you keep seeing them, the cost is high.
Or isn't there a way to just give, let's say, all the people coming in for recruitment, can't you just give them like a group project and see who performs better?
Those are ways you can do. So you can do group work.
You see that me too, I'm smart. I'm thinking forward thinker.
So there's so many things you need to do to notice. But let's imagine it's now character. Okay, let's imagine the person is now good on the job. Because now, when it comes to performance, there are two things we look at. We look at results, we look at behavior. How do you smell the behavior? If the person, you've done good work and the person was excellent, was delivering well, what about the person's behavior?
So
ethical conduct.
How do we define behavior? Is it like the person being rude or the person...
No, there's an ethical conduct that companies have. This is how we behave here. So the person does not behave that way. That's what makes the person bad now. Because there's a standard in every organization. This is how you should behave. But that person is a performer. Is it not to perform? Performance here is both result and following the standards. So they said, okay, everybody should do this way. Don't take alcohol in the office. But you say, I'm a performer, I can take your hour. Of course, that's a bad character. That person is delivering results. What do you do?
Again, you're putting me on the spot.
That's what I'm saying. So most times, these things are too situational that we cannot say that it's not good to fire. We cannot say it's good to fire. It depends on the situation. If it's something that we can fix, then we'll fix it. If it's something we cannot fix, then we won't fix it. If our business goal is that you need a driver that will take you out now, and that person got hired yesterday and told you that he can drive, and peradventure, the person that tested him was a biased person. You didn't test him yourself. The person drove and come back. Then you say, carry me. Come on, you come down. When will you fire? Immediately. So all these things are dependent. We cannot totally say. But whatever that will not make a manager achieve the functional goals, the unit goals, you need to fix it. Because if it doesn't fix it, he gets fired.
So bottom line, managers fire people like team members to save their own heads.
Not to save their heads, to achieve the goals of the business.
Hence, saving their heads.
I don't want you to. Because, of course, they're saving their heads.
Yeah.
So if they don't, and they don't get rid of and don't forget, it's not about fire, it's about fixing non-performance.
Hey, so the problem now is, let's say you have 10 people and you need 10 people for that job.
Excellent.
And you fire 2. What is to say that the other 2 that you're going to bring in to replace will not be worse than the 2 that you just fired?
Honestly, that's why there's a lot of spiritual thing in recruitment. I tell people that it's more because, but you still need to look for ways to block the loopholes, to block out. You need to raise your standard, revisit your screening process, revisit your criteria, raise the bar again, and sometimes look for people that have been doing it somewhere before. Because when you see someone on the job, you can see what he's doing. Unlike when somebody is coming to an interview and you don't see the person on the job, that person can say, I can work without minimum supervision. People cram what to say. We call it cultural noise.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, people might ace interview.
There
but they cannot do it.
There are tutorials on social media now. What to say for interviews.
Can you see now?
What not to say.
So imagine someone have gone for 50 tutorials. The person will ace interview. So that's why you must do behavioral test. We call it behavioral interview. Ask that person what you have done before. Okay, when you were faced with this, what did you do? From there, you start picking who can and who cannot. And also do a day in life if you can. Bring that person and do some assessment centers whereby you see the person on doing things. Let the person sit with you and discuss. You start finding out. Just the same way you try to select, or people try to select husband. You screen. You do screening process. You know how many guys that that say they want to marry a beautiful woman. You can confess that on this show. How many women, how many guys meet you? But you try to screen. Because when you start listening to what this person is saying, you know that this person is not a serious person. And some people will say what is right. Over time, when you now start knowing that this person is not actually serious. So it's over time. So you need to, but managers must fix performance issues so that they can fix their own head too. But if you don't do it, they get fired.
So, I mean, okay, so this is another final question.
Okay.
Does it now mean that the screening process is not thorough enough? There's a fault in the screening because there are several times where managers are just looking for people to fill in positions. So you just say, oh yeah, you come, what your CV, okay. Or some people even come in through connections and then before you know.
Have you seen a lady that's waiting for her husband for long and she just had to fill the role? And she now realized that she has filled it wrongly. Or someone that wants to get married for long, just say, let me just get married. Just so that it doesn't look like I'm not married. They become unmarried after some time. Yeah. So you don't get people when you are tense, desperate. You go for who you don't like. And that's always a major challenge because we have these short timelines in HR because time to fill. We want to make sure we fill it before 5 days. You might not get what you need. That's why you need the pipeline to make sure that you don't start looking for talents when you need talents. The best time to start looking for them is when you don't need them. Sure. So you need talents that can do multiple things at the same time, not people that are one skilled. You know, there was time we're talking about I skill talent and T skill talents. Talent that can do multiple things are the ones you need. So that in case things are changing in the business and you want to move to
we're going to talk about that in another episode. I think I love that topic.
You know, so you want to say, okay, how do you get someone that can do several things? So that in case the business doesn't want to do this again, that person will still be useful. Right. Or else, you're still going to, because when companies are changing their strategy too, a talent yesterday might be a non-talent today. True. So even when we screen well, because of the strategy, made us bring that person in. Now, we've changed our strategy. If that person cannot upskill and I cannot step up the game or anything, then you have to let the person go. So strategy also can make someone useless. True. So this issue of firing. So I feel people not to get fired should be willing to upskill. Always step up your game. In every place of work, there are standards, and standards are also changing. So the only thing that can make you survive and thrive is to keep upskilling and changing your standards, both managers and also team members. Speaking of upskilling, we have an event coming up in June, and I would like for Mr. Ajibola to do us the honors and talk about it. Okay, so we have an event at Eco Hotel. It's titled Managers Manage, a masterclass. It's going to be a 2-day event. It's going to be massive, you know, because it's always the largest gathering of managers in Lagos State. And, you know, people come from different parts of Nigeria to attend. And our critical focus is to assist managers to learn what it takes to be effective. Because you might have a manager that is not managing. And what stresses most businesses is because they have bad managers. So our goal in that conference is to ensure we upskill. It begins by upskilling them. Let them even understand what it takes. You can't just drop your manager to find, you know, just figure it out on how to swim. We don't want them to drown. As manager, your managers are drowning. They're drowning your business, and you don't want that to happen. So come June, it's going to be a massive, big training in Lagos State. From anywhere you are in Nigeria, you must plug in, you must send your managers in. You heard that? The largest gathering of managers in Lagos State is coming up in June, and you don't want to miss it because it's going to be teaching managers how to be more effective. Anyways, that's all on today's episode on Ceedchat. I am sure that you enjoyed it because I did. And if you want us to talk about any other thing relating to managers, employers, or anything that will not put me on the spot like Mr. Ajibola just did today, then drop it in the comment section. I will definitely talk about it. Please send in your questions, your comment. We are open to receiving them. Once again, it's been Ceedchat, brought to you by Seed Academy. And thanks to my very wonderful and amazing guest, Mr. Ajibola Bamidele. See you again on the next episode of Ceedchat. Till then, my name is Blessings Masugu. Bye.
Seed Academy, your growth partner.